Hello everyone. Hi. Um, Welcome to another stream of Welcome to the Mapness, where I'm going to do some Dungeon Fog maps. And apologies for being late tonight, but I was guest in a little test game from Guy Sklenders, How to Be a Great GM. He was testing a new system and he wanted to know if everything works, so he asked me to play along, and it was quite fun. So keep an eye out. I believe he will talk about that soon. Okay, so right. Let me just check. It looks like that is working. Perfect. Hi, Lasus. Sorry. I was just looking at all the different screens, trying to figure out what is going on. So tonight we're going to do another map that I need to prep for my next game, my next office game, and as last week, just a quick spoiler warning: we are playing Tomb of Annihilations. They have arrived in Omu. So last week we were building random cities for random buildings for the city of Omu. Tonight I'm going to do a shrine, one of the Trickster God shrines. So if you are playing, or if you are part of a game and you don't want to be spoiled, you probably should look away. If you're running the game, then perfect. Just join us. We're going to look at Wongo's shrine tonight. All right. So let me just quickly check something here. That's perfect. All right. So what I did is I have already prepared. I've already prepared a map for that. So I got the I have the campaign book, and I grabbed one of the images from the campaign book from Wongo's Shrine, and I made a blueprint out of that. So we have the blueprint system, and here you can see I've uploaded that specific blueprint, and I have adjusted my map to fit that. So now I'm going to just sit there and retrace and rebuild this map in Dungeon Fog so I can use it in my Dungeon Fog games. Right. So first things first, scale to fit, that is good. Now let's start with the basic architecture. I believe the best way to do that would be to create one. So apparently we need to eventually create the old walls that surround this temple. But for the main structure, I believe what I should do is I should just create a solid structure and then stance or cut out the rooms that are inside. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I believe I should reduce the opacity a little bit so that we can better see what I'm drawing. Okay, so I'm going to flip to the advanced mode here, because then I can turn off the inner wall's shadows and the inner wall's outline, and by that it starts to look like a solid block of stone. But I will have to also adjust the floor texture, or all the textures, and I believe I will go for the grouted stone bricks. That looks nice, and I will make that the same for all textures. So when we look at that, let me just quickly, first of all, next I will change the grid color so it's not that disturbing. And let's just quickly hide the blueprint. So that is what it looks without the blueprint. It's just a solid stone brick that is sitting there. And what we can do then is we can go in and cut out those corridors that are in there. All right. So I will create a new room, and yeah, let's adjust that afterwards. And I will do this. Well, I think what we want to do is we want to do this and this. Okay, first mistake. I just realized I should have split the wall here, down here, in several occasions. I should have split it here, here, because we're going to hide those segments in a minute. Oh, no, I didn't want to hide it. I wanted to split it. So we're going to split all those walls here. Okay. Next is this should be below ground. With that, it only gets it doesn't look like the wall is standing out of the ground. It looks like it is. I'm lacking the English term at the moment, but it looks like it is brought in beneath the ground. Okay, and for the outer wall, we're going to pick the same texture. So now it really looks like this is part of the wall. And then we're going to create here a circle, and we're going to create here a circle, but we're going to invert it. Okay, and then this is going to be interesting. We will have to look at how to solve this. Let's make this a circle wall for now too. Oh, hi guy. Okay, so that is that one. Let's do the next one, and now we can already pick up the texture, so we can go and say, okay, it's going to be here, 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 and close. And now all I need to do is make that one circular and move it out a little bit. The good thing about Dungeon Fork version 5 is I can now duplicate things, so I can just duplicate that and put it here, and just making sure that it is perfectly aligned. And I would love to duplicate that one, but we don't have a mirror function in yet, so this is going to be added later. So for now I will have to do this manually. Okay. And circle, circle, circle. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Playing this new system was really fun. I think it was the first I ever played without dice. Can't remember. I've played one with cards. Well, apparently the Fate games. But completely. This was a completely different system. You should again check out Guy's channel. I'm pretty sure he will talk about it. So let's add that. Okay. I know how we're going to do that. Here, here. And close. Okay. For those of you who don't know what Wongo's Shrine is, and again, for those of you who don't want to hear that, this would be the perfect opportunity to not listen. In Tomb of Annihilations, eventually the parties will find their way into Omu, and Omu is where they need to gain access to the name-giving Tomb of Annihilation. I will not be able to pronounce that. And to get access, they need to find specific artifacts that open the tomb. And they are hidden in those shrines, but all those shrines are puzzle shrines, are things that you can't just walk in and grab stuff. And we're going to talk a little bit tonight about the specific puzzles for this one, because I'm not sure if they are good. I think they are very, very complicated. So it was quite difficult for me to solve it, and if it's already difficult for the game master who can read all the rules, then I'm not sure if it is good for players. Without the 3 eyes to statue. Yeah, you should always make sure that whatever as a riddle, whatever you throw at your players, that they can really, no problem, that they can really solve it. So we're going to see how that plays out here. Okay, I feel like I'm pretty happy with the base layout. It's not a very complicated shrine, which is fine because I've been a guest in my stream at Orkenspalter TV today, and then I've been playing with Guy, and now I'm doing maps. So this is not going to be a 2-hour or 2.5-hour stream, but I will do this map with you today. I will answer questions. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and I can showcase stuff if you don't know how things work. But after I have done this map, I will happily go to sleep. So Wongo is a monkey trickster god, and he likes to play tricks on people, and he also likes to confuse or manipulate. No, I want to hide that. So the whole shrine. That's true. I have Tasha. I got it. It was a Christmas present I got. And they have nice guides for prepping puzzles. But again, I feel like guides can only be. Thank you. Guides can only be as good as you can interpret whether or not your party can deal with it. Hi, Paula. Because even the best guide, those books are written they are tailored for a broad audience, which makes it difficult to decide whether or not it's a good fit for your party, but at least it's a great source for inspiration. So I'm reading Tasha, especially for traps, and the puzzles, and I quite like it. So yeah. All right. So the thing about this shrine is that when you enter it, you have those 4 entrances, and only one leads into the central chamber. The other ones, and we will do that right now, fantasy doors. I believe there is a Stoner, no, that is under the general doors. There are those bars. So I'm going to put bars here. Those bars are, we're going to make them, I believe I can do that, concealed. Those bars aren't visible in the first place. Your players can spot them, they can see that there are bars that are kind of in the ceiling, but they're opened when they get here. So what is happening is in the center there is a big monkey statue of Wongo, the monkey trickster god. And that we're going to do now. Okay, let's grab that texture. Let's make it, it has an outline, it has an outer shadow, it doesn't need to be above walls. So we can make this little column here. Do I have a snap to grid here? I believe I should. Can't find it. Nope. Okay. Shift and arrow keys to really align it. There it says, planning out the hints is what I find very important. Can't make it too hard, but can't hand it to the players either. Trying to think of hints on the fly increases the chance of doing either of those. Yes, I agree. If you have quite a good list of hints at your hand, you're not running into the problem that you might give wrong hints. But again, with every gaming group, you have to be flexible at least a little bit. Sometimes you have to just abandon your hints and accept that they are coming up with a completely different solution. And then it's up to you to decide whether you accept that or you don't accept that. Yeah, let me just, again, I believe we can, for now, hide the blueprint, so that you can have a better look at that. So having this shape, and then what I also do normally is when I want to show an elevation, is I then increase the texture just a little bit. For example, from 100% to 120%. So that it's not sure if that's working with that texture here, but then it also looks a little bit elevated. Let's see if we can play around with that, make it probably 125. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to put something on top. So I'm going to duplicate that, Control D, and just make another one here. So now it really looks like a socket. It looks as if there's something sitting on top of that, and we're going to place it. Monkey. Do we have monkeys? House of Horror. We have monkey? A plush monkey. Well, I'm just... Whoops, that was zooming. Nice. I don't want that one, but the monkey effigy is perfect for that. So we're going to place it here. It drop shadow, no above walls. That's perfectly fine. So we can place it here. So here's sitting our monkey statue, but I want it to be a stone statue. So I'm going to reduce the saturation and maybe make it a little brighter. Yes. Thank you. The thing is, what this what this statue does is technically in the game it's holding either it's forming cups out of hands and feet, or it's holding bowls. I'm not sure if I want to visualize that on the map. We can try it, but I feel like this is something that I would rather narrate than really put on the map. So let's see, coconut bowl. That actually would be really cool. But I feel like because this monkey statue, this is going to look weird. I know it while I place it. sure. Let's try it, let's keep it, but I have to reduce the saturation, so it's going to be a stone bowl. Probably make it a little bit darker, duplicate and place it here. I will try to avoid the stupid puns from my party if I'm placing those bowls inappropriately. So let's make it like that. Okay. So the trick is you have to fill fill those bowls with water, but only one specific bowl. Everything else will trigger a trap. So you need to understand how you do that. What bowl should you fill? And to do that, every room here, and we are going to represent that with a little. I believe we had for a window, we had the arrow slit, and we're going to use that. So we're going to place an arrow slit here, and we're going to place an arrow slit probably looking at the statue here, and here. Oops. There you go. And here. Because there are masks on the walls. So those outside corridors. Let me see if I have a mask. I think I have a mask. Hockey mask, well, that's on the floor. Effigy. That's too much. No. Okay, we're not going to put masks there. The story is there are 4 different animal masks. There is a lion, there is a zebra, there is a vulture, and there is a boar. And every mask has a little inscription. And so has the monkey statue. And only if you combine those descriptions, you're getting a text puzzle. And the text puzzle basically says, the monkey statue says, only my true friend knows which bowl to fill. So who's his true friend? We don't know. So the lion says, let me check. The lion says, I ate the boar's friend. Good for you, bad for the friend of the boar. The boar has an inscription that says, the vulture is lucky to still be alive. Okay. The zebra says, my only friend has starved. And the vulture mask says, one of the others has no friends. And that is basically the riddle. So you now have to sit down and take all those hints and clues and work out who is Wongo's friend. And that's quite tricky, at least for me. I've always been bad at text challenges. Like in math, I was also, whenever one of those math tests was written in text and I had to read and interpret and understand how that works, I wasn't good at that. But still, those are the clues, and this is what the players have to learn. Now, if they do any mistakes, those portcullis drop down and lock those rooms, but not this one. And there are several different monsters that arise. If they solve the puzzle, they are getting confronted with one last riddle, a choice, and they have to choose whether they want to take that artifact instantly, or if they want to fight Wongo's children first. And only if they take the artifact instantly, they will get cursed. But if they fight, then they will not be cursed. And that is basically what this whole shrine is about. So in terms of the mechanics for this one, I feel like we're set. I do feel, let's zoom in a little bit, based on the fact that I didn't align those rooms properly. So this is at -35, which is fine, but let's get rid of the comma. So this wall must be, so this is -35, sorry, this must be 35. Now, as you can see, if your radii don't align perfectly, your windows will not align perfectly. So you have to go back and check and see if they are. And 35 is, I could do 36, which would be exactly, but I don't like it because I prefer it to have a little offset. That is almost perfect. -35, and there you go. Wait, then what about you? Oh, and 35. So why are you not aligning perfectly? Minus 35. Did I get the right one? Yes, and oh, come on. Let's hide you for a second. Up, and let's hide you for a second. And let's just go for that one. 35. Okay, so that was correct. So basically it was probably just, I have to place this here. Doesn't like me. We will figure out why. Hi Ludwig. 35, perfect, and -35. Okay. Would it be better if I... Oh, it's still 0, 1. Why? Okay. How about 36? Let's just test that for a second. 36, and then U minus... Oh, come on. Okay. So this is -35. And then this has to be 35. Okay, so for those it's working. I don't know why it's not working for this one. What if I shift you? No. What if I believe I can live with that. All right. So the original map, if I just highlight that, in the inner, it doesn't have much more but those spider cobwebs. So it looks like those gangways, those corridors. They're just old and dusty, and they have spider webs in there. So we're going to do the same thing. We are going to put spider webs in there. But before we do that, let's change the floor texture a little bit. I want to brush. I want a circular brush. I don't want you to snap to grid. I want freehand. I probably just want you at 1 square, so a little bit smaller. And you should be something dirty. Like, what about you? No, you're not. You're not what I'm looking for. Yes, they're all. So this is the only one, because I was playing around. This is the only one with 36. This is 35, 35, 35. Broken tiles and dirt. I really love that texture. For those of you who know me, they know that this is one of my most favorite textures because it's so great to create old rotten floor. So let's see if it works here. Softness is fine, opacity we can adjust later, so let's make something like that. Okay, the 300 is way too much. 200. And I'm okay with that, but we should probably desaturate it a little bit. And again, playing with opacity we can do later. So let's add more of that here, and probably here, and here. Oh, my bad. Because it wouldn't show up because I was adding it to a different room. I have to finish my brush first, which I can do by clicking on Finish Brush, or I can just click on the little check mark here, then this brush is finished. So here, 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 check mark, here, 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 where is it? Check mark. Okay, and now let's play a little bit with the softness to make it more visible. This felt like, oh my god, 200% and less saturated. What was the saturation for that one? Let's make it -42 because I love that number. And now we can, instead of trying to adjust that for all, we just go flip. Oops, sorry, I mean flip. That one, flip. And that one. And just pick the texture. There you go. And now we just need to play around with the softness a little bit. Okay. Well, it's a Hitchhiker's Guide Through the Galaxy thing. There it is. The 42 is the answer to the question of everything, and that is. I love the book, so I love the number. Okay. Now what we can do is we could... No, we're not doing that. Yeah, let's try that. We split that to a separate prop. And now we're changing the scaling a little bit to 250. But we're making you... Oh, nope. I wanted to make you, my friend, a little smaller. And place you here. Perfect. So we're spicing that up a little bit with different scaled textures so that it looks, at least for me, it looks then better. And now we can do the same thing with that entrance here and there. Let's make you here. And let's grab that one for here, but we want to, oops, we want to take that one and shift it up here. Where did you go? Oh no, I've moved it. Yeah, I've moved it into the wrong room. So let's put that to the corner. My bad, I just wanted to rotate you. Corner. And here. Now, this is because of the new way that this actually looks pretty good. We just need to sort it down a little bit. The new way the brush tool works is that you can sort brushes on top of props. We don't want to do this for the bowl, but we want to do this for the little, I'm lacking words, I'm sorry, for the little raised platform. There you go, pedestal. Man, yeah, it was a long day, sorry. Okay, so let's go to my layers, because here we have the broken tiles and dirt, and we want to have this, let's put it between those two, and that is quite nice. That is quite nice. I'm not 100% convinced that those two colors really fit. The way that the stone tiling and my broken stone tiles and dirt work together. But I believe that we can ignore that, because once I'm adding lighting, it will be a lot more subtle. So we have that. Barely, yeah. Let's bring in some. I never. This is one of the things. This is one of the props we're going to rename first when we're doing the new prop library, because I constantly forget how that is called. It is outdoor. And it is gravel. There you go. That's what I was looking for. So we can just spice it up a little bit, put down gravel. What we definitely do not want is that they drop shadow, because then they look like they were floating. We can make it a little darker and a little transparent. And then we're just placing it here and there, so that it has a little bit more. Maybe this is too dark. So that we have a little bit more going on in those corridors. If I place them under the brush, well, depending on where I put them, let's do it with that one. So let's place it here, and then put the, which one is it? That one. Let's put it beneath my brushes. Then they will be hidden, almost hidden. Now if I move it even further down, it will be gone, unless I make this less visible. So I will, in that case, I will bring it back up, and the gravel on top. And let's move it here. So let's do the same thing here. Let's put something here. Let's make that one a little bigger, but hide it. Okay. Should be probably here. And then there's one at the corner. And maybe there. Smaller. Rotated. Okay. Next. What else could we do? Okay, you all know me. If you've seen any of my streams, you will know what's coming next before I put down the spider webs. It's going to be my blood. spill. I don't know why, but I'm so in love with this trick because it is quite easy to add more variation to the floor. There you go. I feel like I'm happy with that. That looks quite nice. We can then afterwards we can work with little cracks, and I want to show you a different thing I have learned to love. Yes, I do. I just use that. I recolor it and just use it as little dirt spots, or probably something like wet spots that have changed the color of the floor. And the way that this, I don't know why, the organic shape of that brush works so perfectly, of that bloodstain works so perfectly that it kind of matches with every texture, and you can easily create those disturbances on the floor. Okay, that looks nice. I like it. We could, just to flavor it up a little bit, but don't go overboard. So I might be removing it in a second. We could go for cracks. No shadow, please. And place down a crack here. And maybe because the portcullis has cracked this area here. We do have a lot more of those, so we could go for this one. But I felt like this one was quite nice, so let's stick with that one. Let's have that one just subtly, whoops, whoopsie whoops, coming from here. And reduce opacity. Now the trick with opacity is, it is very tempting to always reduce it, but that makes everything very washed out. You're using the tiny puddles of water as blood after tinting it? Yes. Sure, yeah, you can use the tiny water puddles and tint them, and then you have blood. It wasn't me, I believe, who did that, who showed that, but that's the beauty of Dungeon Fog. You can take everything and tint it. Coming back to transparency, it is very tempting to go down with the transparency because, I mean, that is very obvious. If we're aligning the crack a little bit better to the tiles, then it is more believable. And that means I want that actually on the corner here. But if I'm starting to reduce it, there is a threshold when it gets just disturbance. It's not visually strong enough. It isn't believable enough. And then it's just pixels and just mess. So be careful when you reduce the saturation. You just want a little bit. Just a little bit. So let's bring that up to 82. Was it? That was it. Oh, 89 this was. Well, let's make it 80. And I don't like that one. Let's... Wait, didn't I just delete you? No, yes I did. Okay. And 80. Okay. Did I place a crack here? If I did so, I can't find it anymore. Spider webs. Now we're going for the spider webs. And there we have them. And it is my never-ending question, do I want them to be white or do I want them to be black? And let me show you. There are two different ones. Spider. So this would be the black one. And this would be the white one. I think white looks just better. The only trick we could do is let's see how that looks. If it, yeah, we can activate the shadow, and we could combine them and offset them just a little bit to give them more depth, because now it looks like they're dropping shadows. Okay. Let me, oh, we're already at 200%. Let me still zoom in a little bit more. Which one's the black one? White. Spiderwebs. Let's reduce your opacity a little bit. So now it looks like it's, yeah, white pops a bit more, right? It's better. But if I want to do that, and if I want to continue do that, there's not much difference. It's a little bit. But if I want to do that, and if I want to continuously do that now, I should probably group them. So this is spiderweb, and I will put this one in first. Oh, sorry. I should have named my rooms. And then this one second, because now I can duplicate that. So I can rotate this and place it here, and then duplicate, rotate, because they quite nicely align if you put them on top of each other. Probably need to move you a little bit. You mean the dark spot at the darkening? Yeah, but this, I feel, at least I feel that this emphasizes it a little bit more. Now I have those, and okay, enough. Let's name those rooms. This is Bongos. This is, Jesus, which one was that? Let me just look. I think this one was the zebra. This could be the boar. Vulture. Lion. And you are the foundation. The heresy! Oh my god, I'm naming rooms. Yeah. Yep. I didn't press enter for my vulture room. Or room and lion room. Okay, done. So now at least I can as if I would have remembered which one was which. Okay, this is the lion room. Content. Now I have those two spider webs, but I like the way they are looking, so I will go into this one, bring it back out. I can get rid of that one and bring them back in. Here we might need to sort that. Okay. Oh, come on, go in there. Okay. Nope, you didn't like it. Now you should. Okay, so my dark webs are at the bottom and my white webs are at the top. Great, now I can duplicate you and just start going crazy. Let's make you a little bit smaller and place here. And then I think there should be something ugly there in the corner. I hate spiders, by the way. Okay, let's continue. there are spider webs here, and let's see what happens if they are crossing over each other. That looks nice. There's no one in there, so no spiders in the central corridor. There are no spiders anyways, it's just, I feel like this is just flavor of saying that these corridors haven't been visited for a long time. I think we should do, I think we should do something with that. We should. Okay. I'm now regretting that I've ungrouped them. That's fine. Dark. 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 And now white. Yep, that was another dark one. Go away. I'm afraid I'm not catching the white one. Okay. White. White. And white. Okay, and now there was this one that needs to be turned a little bit. Okay, I like it. So let's just quickly bring back up the original. How boring. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's go to 200%. That was quite nice. And here we have our one. And now we should definitely play with... yeah, we should definitely pay someone to clean out the spider webs. Sounds like there's a party needed. So let's play around with lighting. No. Don't do lighting yet. Let's go to 80%. Let's work on the... because that's going to be quick too. Let's work on the outer wall. So we're going to create... a wall here, and I feel like I could do this with the wall trick. So first of all, this should not be below ground. This should be... no, wait, I can just pick that texture. So the wall trick is basically, if you don't want to create a room, you can just backtrack. But I know that Andy is hating that, because that is causing a lot of problems, especially when you have complicated walls. And that is why the new wall or line and path tool is on our list for this year, where you don't have to do that anymore. Okay, so we're going to do this, and this one I will have to do manually, because otherwise it's snapping to the grid. So holding down the shift, ignoring the grid, I will do this, and I will turn off the blueprint in a minute so you can see what we're doing. This. Let's offset that just a little bit. Snap, snap, and back. That sounds like dance instructions. And snap and back. Okay, we're almost done. So let's see what we have fabricated here. Those walls, and I knew it, they are way too thin. So the inner wall thickness doesn't matter here because all we're painting are outer walls, so we can ramp that up. Let's do 20. That's too much. Let's do 12. That looks nice. And yes, exactly. That's the problem with doing those walls without any inner wall or inner area can, especially for complicated paths that you're drawing, this can really bug WebGL, and then you have a crash and you have to remove that room or that wall. There you go. We're going to Dancing in the Fog. I like that title. Okay, I'm going to try and let's see if it works. I'm going to pick up. Nope, it's not going to work because it's... No, I have that already. I want to apply it. But why are you not applying it? There you go, because I can't hit that. I don't like it. Now I have to do it manually. What was it? What did I say? Outer wall 12. Outer wall 12. Outer wall 12. You know, that reminds me of an April's Fool that we have always wanted to play on you. Now look, this one didn't like it. So let's shift, yeah. Let's shift that a little bit. Now it's working. And let's do 12 and 12. This one didn't like it either. Let's shift it a little bit. And I suddenly realized that I haven't saved for quite some time. Okay, that one looks stupid. Let's move that a little bit up here. We're going to cover a lot of the... By the way, why? Oh, because there is a gap, and then there are bushes, and then there is this, whatever it is. I think it's an obelisk. So those are statues, not, I don't know, not rooftops. But we're going to cover a lot of the walls with real broken wall props, and there's actually two of them. Two of what? Two of whom? Two of those obelisks. Or two fog dancers. Yeah, so foliage will cover most of those ruins, so let's start with that. And we have those beautiful jungle ruin textures. Oh, I'm not commenting that. Are we still there? Yes. For some reason, OBS today decided to not log me into Restream. So whenever I look over to my OBS screen, it just says offline, and I'm like, this is Flavor Jungle jungle. And then we have the broken walls. So the corner ruins, they look quite nice if we scale them down a little bit and we place them here. Now the trick for the corner ruins is going to be, can we colorize them so that they look similar? I'm not good with the U slider. I always... Oh, look at that. I already did it. Let's reduce the saturation a little bit. I'll move you out just for confirmation. Lightness, do you want? Yep. What do you think? I think it's still a little bit too saturated for the wall texture. Yeah, I agree. It looks good. So my question would be, do we want that to be beneath or above walls? Because if we make it above walls, we could make it a lot bigger and really kind of try to merge them. We do have a problem. So we could, we could do that and just get rid of the wall. Because that would be the problem here. The little combination of the bricks and that. But I mean, seriously, I could just, if I ever select it, I could just do that. Yeah, that's a nice idea too. I could do this. This should drop shadows, by the way. Can put it beneath one of the other ones as well. So let's leave it like that. We will put a little shrub or something here. But let's see. Let's put that one. Let's make it bigger. But let's put it beneath it. There you go. And what if I make you smaller and then make a bigger one on top? This might be too much. Oh yeah. And here we're going to just place it beneath. Not above walls, and a lot more like that. And what's with you? We don't need that for you. So let's go for the other ones, and that there should be a straight one. Walls ruined, but let's go for the overgrown one. Now, before I do that, I need to see what it does to my vines, because I need to colorize it. And it was -11, -35, -10. Let's see what happens if I do -11, -35, and -10. There's a weird black scratch on the screen, on the stream. What do you mean? Where? What? How? It looks like something is sticking out from a mask. You mean here? Here? I can't see it now. Well, maybe it was a zooming relic. We will see. We will come back. So if I put you above walls, drop shadow. Somehow, did I do some -11, -35, -10, -11, -35, -10? I feel like we have to reduce the saturation on that one. That looks better. Okie doke. Let's put you here and here. And just for the sake, let's flip that one so that we mix it up a little bit here. Oh, I said this one is a little bit tilted. No, that's fine. That's not really going into account. And oh, now let's go for the archway. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. That one. I want that one to be a thing. It did, thank you, because it was still selected. That was my fault. So let me fix that in a minute. Above walls, and again, -11, -35, -10, and I'm happy with it. Although, for some reason, I believe that it looks more believable if we're turning it into that direction. I don't know why. Okay, and that one was flipped back, so we're going to reflip it. Okie doke. Going to hide that one. Now we do have new obelisks, and I want to see how they work here. Obelisks. I mean, that's how obelisks look from the top. But it's so not exciting. What else could we have? I think I want to go for my... What about that? No. It's a monkey shrine. But we could go for the jungle statue. Flavor, jungle. There's a toppled one. So this is decorated column, I believe I have called that. Decorated column, right. So let's go for those. And then we could, and then we put the pyramid, the obelisk on top of that. So we're going to place it a little bit different than they have it on the original map. We're going to do it here. And we're going to then do it here. And now we're going back to my obelisk. And I will park you because we need to recolor all those things first. So this is -11, too much, -35, getting better, -10, looking good. -11, -35. If I would have done that before and then duplicated that prop, that would have saved me some time. Is that going to work too? Nope. Okay, here we have to play with the color slider. That looks good. Yes, a prop setting eyedropper is on the list. We have it already in the collections where you can copy and paste settings. So basically all we need to do is take that and put it on props as well, where you could basically say all the settings, you can save the setting and load the setting and then just apply it to everything. Or if we ever go into the direction to have something like the paint room, probably a double option that you expand, and you can say paint room or paint prop or paint brush or paint whatsoever, and then you just click, 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 click. Would be really cool. And will find its way into Dungeon Fog eventually. Okay. Now, are we happy with that? No, we're not happy with that because we have stopped with those things. And we're going to do them here as well. Okay. That's true. So that's also a bit of a challenge at the moment, is because everything we do in Dungeon Fog now, we have to then re-implement in Deus. So we're trying to pick things that are really essential to have them soon, and things that are really complicated, like for example multi-select, is almost impossible to bring into the web version of Dungeon Fog as it is now online. That is going to be then in Deus, but most likely not in the online editor until the new online editor from Deus replaces it. Yes. Scale to fit. Okay, so now we need to add nature stuff, the green things. Exactly. I really like the new trees from the Riverlands. I do feel, however, we're going to use a few of them, but it's still chult, so it's still jungle. Let's randomize them. Let's put a random rotation on them and a random scale between. This is original size. Oh, this is already scaled. Okay, the previous one was original size, so let's do it between 50 and 80. Let's try it. So, oh, yep, there it goes. It works. Let's go back to 200%. Oh, they look. Tony did such a great job with those. They look so realistic. Let's especially hide those here. Whoop. Whoop. I want one smaller, so I manually resize it. And then I hand back to the randomizer. That is, yeah, I can grow above it. Probably not. This one should not be above walls. This one should indicate that this building is much higher than the trees. And now we're back. Settings remain. That's great. So maybe we hide that one a little bit. And we need a big one here, but we're going to add there a few palm trees then. And other stuff. Okay, so no, we don't need weed. Weed, fern. Let's add a fern, but let's make sure that this one fits my color palette, which is a little bit desaturated in my whole Jult campaign. Yeah, you can build. So there are, if you go to our Discord channel, I've seen quite a lot discussions about that, how you could do that. We have those trees. Yeah, we have them that are kind of like only the tree trunk. I think that's how it's called. Oh, there's a mangrove trunk. Let's just showcase that. So what you could do is you could just place the mangrove trunk somewhere and then take the tree, place it on top and make it almost transparent. So stump, interesting. That would be on the same layer, But what you can easily do is you could say, okay, I don't want that. Go away. But let's try this with the stump. Fantasy trees, tree stump. There you go. But you could say you place them here. And now you're adding a new level above. But you make the stage invisible. And now you're adding, let's just take a small shrub, something like a tree here. So you could now run the whole game on this level, and when you say no, you want to switch beneath the canopy and you want to see what's happening there, you just switch down here, and now you have those two levels of beneath the canopy and below the canopy. I will get rid of that one and I will name my level Wongus Rhine. Okay. Oh yeah, right. The shadow trick. Thank you. There's a third one that was discussed on the Discord channel. Is when you take that and now you add a tree here, instead of having that tree visible in terms of, oh, I see that, or just transparent, you can also basically just, you make this dark and very transparent. So now it looks like you have a tree trunk and you see the shadow of the canopy on the ground, which is also clever. Let's save it. And now let's add some. Oh yeah, we're just creating. I feel like my random. Oh, that doesn't matter. Because I was flipping around, I've lost my random rotation. You're not above walls, which doesn't help me in that case because layers, stage content, this fern needs to go all the way down. Okay. Nope, I didn't want to create a bookmark. I wanted to duplicate you. Let's put a fern here. But you have to be above walls, otherwise you're not going to interact with that properly. Let's do another one here. Let's do another one here. There. There. Well, what we're trying to do is we're constantly trying to fill our help desk with those how-to guides that says how to do this, how to do that. Hey, why are you? We don't know. Okay. So keep an eye out for the Dungeon Fog help desk where you can always find those little tricks. And if you ever run across something where you say, I would love to have that on the help desk, then just reach out, let us know. I'm done with Fern. Let's put one here. And we will do our best to add that. When you try to start a map by laying something down, I'm sorry, this is really rough to kind of troubleshoot or support without more details. Just send us at support@dungeonfog.com is our support email address. Send us the map, the browser specifics, your PC specifics, like your system requirements or your system setup, with that as a report. And then we can investigate that, and then we can help you through our support system. Palm tree. I wanted to add palm trees. I like that one a lot. And now we're going to make this really quick. We already have the rotation, so let's just do some more of that here and here and here. Let's do something that rather comes from the outside. Okay. There should be something there. I think something should be growing here. I feel like 99% of the times when I'm decorating the backside of those things, I feel like that's a complete waste. My players will never go there. And then they surprise me and they say, oh, I want to go around the building first. The problem is still, though, I hardly ever plan an encounter on the backside of the building. So it's still just a little like, oh, you go around the building and that's what you see. Thank you, goodbye. Let's get some vines and some moss here. So we have quite nice, come on, go up there. We have moss. Nope, not the rooftop moss, but the sewer moss. That looks quite nice. With that we can, I would even say we start above walls, perfect. No shadows, please, and no rotation because I want to, and no scaling. I want to adjust that manually. So we're going to put some moss onto those things, probably on that one. Let's make the corners a little mossy. There. Okay. Beasts would tend to lair away from the end. That's true. That's true. Might be because also this is a perfect way to kind of have a protective little area to hatch eggs or raise your cubs, whatever you have back there, because it offers some shelter. Let's try that one with transparency. It offers some shelter. So yeah, that is a nice idea. By the way, that works much better. So I should have done that for all my moss. And there was another one. Jip. Okay, and let's finish this slowly. Vines. Let's... No, stop. Too much, too fast. Let's put some vines here. Let's do the same on the opposite side. Oop, here. Archway vines, I love them so much. They are going to... Are you above walls? Yes, you are. They're going to be here. Oh, we need to... Yeah, we need to make the entrance a little bit more interesting. Ah, that's too much. I don't like it. Let's see if you work better if we make you smaller. Yes, you do. So we want to have little entrances here. We have completely forgotten about them. Let's do that quickly. I already have the right texture. My dog has decided that it is now time to get some attention. I will be back in a second. I will just leave him out. Let him out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create outer shadow and outline. Yes, so I'm going to create little steps up there. So I'm going to do this and then this and this. That looks good. Stage content. Where have I placed you? Where are you? There you are. Stone tiling, stone tiling, stone tiling. So let's create a folder. Ah, I wanted to name you. Stairs. 1, 2, 3. And if I have done everything correct, I can now place you. Oops, I've moved it into the room. And I want them to be very, very, very close. Something like that. Looks great. Duplicate. Same thing here. Up, up. And now make sure that they are aligned. Great. Here, same thing. Up, up. Aligning. And once more. Ah, we can't do that. Manually. Nope, that was okay. And here. Up, 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 down, down. Okie doke. Looking much better now. So now we can play with... Where are you? Where are you, Vine? I can't get you. Okay, let's see. Column vines, column vines. I'm afraid I might have moved it into that room. No, this is moss, moss, moss. So what about you, content? Archway vines. There you are. So let's make you bigger again. And let's move you. There you go. That looks good. Okie doke. Yeah, I sometimes sit there and just talk while I do that. Even if not on stream. I'm glad that I'm not the only one doing that. Okay, let's get completely rid of that because now we're going to address the... And I'm already regretting that I have not done the brushes beforehand because now I will have to move them all to the bottom. But let's do some outdoor brushes. So first of all, let's change the floor texture. I don't like that. So save in the meantime. Never forget to save. What texture could we use here? Dirt? That is more like a detail I would like to add. What about you? Nah, too muddy. What about you? Nope. What about you? Nope. Short wild grass. Nope, that was the prairie grass. Short wild grass. That looks good. I like that one. But we might be... Yeah, probably 40. That's great. And now we can mix that with dry dirt with patches of grass. Oh no, yep, that's what we want to do. We want to go back to this one first. And now we want to switch to brush. And what am I doing? Oh, it's getting late. I'm getting confused. What did I say? It was dirt with patches of grass. That one. And let's make the 300. Whoa, okay, let's see. Yeah, works. Works quite nice. So let's just, the good thing is everything I do, as long as I do not finish the brush, will be added to the same brush layer. Whoopity whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. So I can decorate all of that around here. And it's still on the same layer, which A is a lot more is a lot less resource intense, and B, I only have to shift one layer down at the bottom and not 20. Okay, let's make that one a dirty area. You dirty area. It's getting late. Okay, finish brush. I'm happy with that. And for some reason, because all of that was above walls and you are not, we don't even have to shift you down. Now I would still do it, because eventually if I come back, I will be wondering how that works. Okay, are we at the bottom? No, we're not, but we've just decided not to scroll anymore. So let's place it here. And let's do the same thing. Come on, down, 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 down. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of stuff on our stage. Right. I feel like there should be a little pathway here. So, first of all, I also like the overgrown tool. Right. Oh, Jesus. For a second I thought I'm flipping it for the texture here, but no, that's fine. But that shouldn't be 300%. That should be probably 100%, and now we can do this. Let's try it here. Yep, nice. So we can create those little more juicy areas that look more hydrated. And we can also, that was too much, undo, don't like it. Wait, oh, stop scrolling. But we can do it here, and we could do it here. And by doing this, we're creating some kind of nice gap. Still don't like it. We're creating kind of border to the map, which is nice. So let's do that here, and let's do it here, and probably here. Okay, finish brush, and oh no, let's start sorting again. Go down, go down, go down. Can I scroll? No, I can't. Sometimes it works like a charm, and sometimes it doesn't. There you go. Now, last brush before we start lighting is dry dirt. How do you look? Yeah, could work. Could definitely work. So we're making it a little bit something like that. That has no effect at all if I'm doing those curves, because my brush tip is too big. So let's make this just one, and a little less softness, and now it should be visible. Yes. Okay. Finish brush, and now let's do the same thing, but let's increase the brush texture to 200%, and now make this a little bigger. And now we're adding some highlights here and there. And since we already are on the brush, okay, are on the brush, we can add some of those highlights elsewhere. Probably here. Stop that. Okay. No, unfortunately, it is a trade-off. Do you really want to speed up your game prep? So the thing is, the reason why I'm doing my maps usually on Thursday is because then I have time. And depending on how many maps I need to do, I can decide whether or not I want to spend an hour per map, or as we're doing right now, I can't remember, I believe it's 1.5 hours now. I hope. I'm losing time. Or I'm losing track of the time, basically. The thing is, it very much depends. I mean, tonight I only have this one map that I want to prep for my next game, so I can really go into details. If you remember last Thursday, it wasn't that detailed. We created one layout and then went into 4 variations of that, and it was just flip doing this and that. Tonight it's making fun. I'm enjoying it very much. Hi, dog. And oh, please go away. I can't move my mouse. Ah. I feel like he's nudging me, and he's like, "You're in the room where I want to sleep. Go to bed." Yes, Finn, I will go soon, but now let me work, please. You're not seeing what he's doing. Let me just quickly switch. So here he is. Look at that. Here he is. And whenever I try to get on the keyboard, he is always like, ah. That's really hard to work when you're doing that. In the old office, he was on the other side, so he was doing the same thing while I was trying to move the mouse. Come. Hup, hup. No, he's ignoring me. Okay, back to screen share. The only thing I want to do tonight. Oh, there's a question. Sorry. Hi, Filthy. Welcome back. How will this level of detail translate to larger scales when Deus is integrated with the battle maps? Well, that depends. Are you asking about how the level of detail translate to world maps or region maps or city maps, or can I do bigger map, like way bigger battle maps? The answer is basically, I believe the answer very much depends again on the end performance that we can put into the software, and the requirements on your PC. But I believe that you should be able to do way bigger maps than the web browser can handle when it comes to battle maps. And in terms of the tools you have for Deus when it comes to city maps or region maps or world maps, is you will have all the brush tools, you will have all the prop placement, you will have the shapes, you will then have those river tools and the biome tools. So you will really have enough tools at your hand to start working on those little details. And we're still, I mean, that's still our plan. I'm not sure how helpful it will be, but we still want to give you access to the full prop library regardless on what editor you are. So even if you're doing world maps, you should be able to get the palm trees that you have from the battle map library, or the other way around. We're now here in the battle map zoom level, but the Deus library would still offer you the assets that are available on world map scale. Again, I don't know if how helpful that is. But it is, again, it is something like, picture Indiana Jones, this room where he has to put down the staff, and the light shines onto this little model city. And yeah, for example, or you want to play it around, have the giant sword from the battle map area sticking out of a mountain on the world map area. So I believe that you are creative enough to find reasons to use and mix those assets. But in terms of how much detail can I add to that, I would say the only thing that we're really uncertain of how we want to do that is the whole lighting thing on world map scale, because that is completely different. Mountains, forests, cliffs, or you know, ravines, they work completely different when it comes to a world map or region map lighting. So that might be a completely different tool, or a very reduced tool to just add atmospheric light or a sunlight direction somehow. We don't really know yet how to deal with that. But talking about light, this is the last thing I want to do for tonight, is I want to light up the map. Save, because I want to see what I can do with lighting here. Let me just pick a light source, and let's say let's just go for fire. Fire, small fire. Let's place it down here. That should automatically, Jesus Christ, emit light. Okay, so first of all, the stage light is not at 100%. Let's bring that down to 80%. The room light should be probably at 60%. It's a little bit darker in there. And this light source is not allowed to cast with such a high luminance. So we're going to bring that to 50. And that is already starting to look good, but I believe we are going to increase this range, because what I want, the effect I want to achieve is that we're having light shine almost until here. So let's bring this up to 14. Yes, no, maybe. I can hear my PC is calculating, okay. Oh, okay, 14 is too much because it's even going to the back here. 10. But this is exactly what I wanted. Most of the time, because of the time, now it's past 11 here in Austria, 11 p.m. And most of the streams will be in English. I had a stream to this afternoon with Myri from Orkenspalter that was in German, but I assume that most of my streams will be in English. If you do not speak English well and you want to ask your question in German, feel free, do that. German is my mother language, so I can easily answer that in German if you prefer, but most of the time I will be speaking English. Well, my Austrian is better than my German, let's say it like that. Okay, now the light source that's tricky. Maybe we have to cheat a little bit. I will move my light source back here. And we are going to cheat, because now we have a better ray casting into those rooms, which I like better. We might even pull it back to here. And now increase. Let's try again 14. although he was really calculating for that. Okay. Yep, like it. It's good. It's good. And let's create a second light source that we're going to place in here, but now we have to definitely change up things. Because that light source... Oh man, he's already really calculating here. I should have not done that. 14, let's reduce that to 7. Still too much. 3. Yes, because all I want to do is I want to emphasize that there is a light source shining in here. So I'm going to make this invisible because there is no fire here. It's just I'm using the fire as a light source. Well, if someone is talking in real origin Viennese, it's even for me hard to understand. Okay. I also need to hide that fire, by the way. And now let's just focus on that one first, because I want to test something. And I'm really curious of how this works and how this looks. I want to put a light source here. And I want to make this little thingy, my little window, transparent. So yes, there are some artifacts in there that might be due to the acid. Three squares, 1, 2, 3. Well, actually I can reduce that to 2 squares. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. And now it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Well, that's true. Well, Latin maybe, but before that, I have no idea, to be honest. Celtic? No. Not Celtic. What was it? I have no idea. Sorry. Yeah, Germanic. Which would then relate back to German. So let's see what happens here, because I wasn't able to close that. Regardless of what I did, I still had this little fragment of the other wall. So I'm very curious if light can... No, it cannot come true. It is not shining through because I still haven't figured out why this -35... This was this one versus this one. It should work. It actually should. I don't know why. It must be really... What if I... Let's do something different. What if I increase you... Wait, minus it... 36? Oh no. I've selected... I'm getting confused here. I've selected the wrong one. 35? No, that was the right one. $34? Ha! Ha ha! I have no idea why. Minus 34. And you need to be 35. Oh, come on. Oh, no, wait. I don't think I have a light source there yet. Okay, at least we have a light source. Now we need to... $35. Why do you always keep adding? Let's make 35.5. Minus 35. Okay, that was you. Okay, I could also just play around with it until... Why did you give up? No, you didn't give up. It was just a rendering. Okay. So let's try this again. Minus 35. Okay, good. We have that one. And that is you. And you are 36? No. 34. Okay. Oh, you didn't go to 34. Why not? 4? 3? You just... Oh, yeah, I see. Because 35 is the maximum, then it would turn around. Yes, I put in the window. The window is there. It's probably something with comma separated digits. Like, you see, there's this 34 minus 0.10 that I'm not getting rid of, regardless of how much I try. And so this 1 point digit is making the troubles. And if I go to minus 34, no, I have to go minus 36. And there I have to then go, because I cannot go beyond 35. 36. Nope, it's just not working. I can't get it working, unfortunately. Because technically it should be, it's just this digit, this one digit. I could hide one of the walls. That's absolutely right. I could just ignore that and go in and say, okay, let's hide it. My players will never forgive me. No, they will be like, why is that not working? Let me just fix it again, just quickly, because this is as boring for you as it is for me. So let's bring that back to 35, because that's the maximum I can do. And let's bring you back to, sorry, minus 35, although there's going to be this 0-1 digit. And let's shift you up here a little bit. I've never put you in transparent. Oh my god. Well, that's what happens when it's getting late. It might have been working all the time with all the adjustments I did, but I forgot to make this window transparent. Because last attempt I made this minus 34. No. Okay, I give up. I have no idea why this window is not casting the light. I will have a look at it tomorrow. and see if I can fix that. What else did I want to do? Lighting. Yes, I wanted to have you cast shadows. My palm tree needs to be no prop shadow because it should be above that. And I think the shadow should be shorter. Ah. Dirt with patches. Okay. Okay, let's get this fixed just simply by shifting you here. And you should cast a shadow too. And you should be flat with no prop shadow. Yes, that's true. That it is, and I have no idea how to get rid of that. That was the main problem. On the other side, I was able to get rid of it. On this side, I was not. And I could be playing around with that now for hours. Or I just, for the sake of my late evening, give up and come back tomorrow and see if I can fix it tomorrow. I can let you know on Discord what was the problem and how did I fix it. And I believe it might most likely be just a math issue where my brain is not working anymore. Okay, I'm not going to add shadows to all those things because it's unnecessary. You always should, if you're placing shadows, make them meaningful. And here at this part, it doesn't really add to the full scene. It adds here because that is where your players are coming. And here you can go and say, okay, I want this to cast shadow, but I want everything to be flat with no prop shadows, so do not receive my prop shadow here. So this makes shadow casting a little bit more meaningful. I would say, I'm not sure if the statue will cast any shadows because they are too far away, the light sources, to really make that an effect. We could emphasize it by taking that light source and placing it behind the statue. I'm casting a shadow. Oh yes, but it is overwritten by all the other light sources, so that is not helping us at all. So you don't really need to cast a shadow. Well, actually, in the puzzle itself, if you're looking through the mask, you can see that the mask is looking at a specific bowl, and you can see a little blue light shining onto that bowl. So every mask highlights one specific bowl. Yes, technically, those shadows would dictate the time if you're taking it. If you're that precise on how the map and the lighting works, you probably would have to move the light source depending on what day they are arriving. I'm more like the guy who likes to design a great looking map, and if my players come here at night and it is important for the story that they are at night, then I would reduce the stage light to 0 and the room light to 0, and then probably change that light source from this yellowish to some bluish. And he needs to calculate. And now it's a lot more night time. But I usually don't do that. Like I usually let's undo it. I usually just make the map because I like it, it looks good, and if my players play on that map and it is night, then we're just playing along with the existing map. 80 and 60. Okay, nope, I wanted to scale to fit. Let's have a look at the complete map. I'm pretty satisfied with that. There you go, now we have the lighting there too. Let's save that. And let's compare it to the original map. Oh, there was one trick I wanted to show. That's the last thing before we call it a day. Now, I'm getting attacked by my dog again. Come on, here, get up. Hup, hup. Good. Yes, no, so. Good. There is some dog schmoozing after the stream ends. Okay, so the one trick I wanted to show you is with the new brush tools. Yeah, with the new brush tools, you can create your own grid. So I can turn off the grid. I can say, no, I don't want any grid at all. And when you go to brushes and to brush textures and you scroll up, I think under backgrounds there are styles, and there I have added I'm still experimenting with them because they're not really this is a resolution issue, so I can use the 70 grid here. It will still be at 1 inch per grid, but I can start brushing now. And I might have had here scaling that was not wanted, and it will just brush the grid here, which is really cool because now I can reduce the opacity. And although I hate to do this now, let me. Yeah, it's just for the entrances. So let's put it here, 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 and let's assume that the players are coming from here. So what I can do now is I can take that 70 grid and let's do this. Come on, speed up. Yes, almost here. Here we go. Oh no. Yes, there's the speedo. And put it at the bottom. Now it's partially, I shouldn't have put it at the bottom, but I can decide where to put it. Now I have to do it, although I wanted to avoid it. And if you look closely, let's see if we can show that. Let's go to 200%. Uh, 200%, that's where I want it to be. No, stop scrolling. I don't want you to scroll. Okay. If I would take that, bush here, as you would see, it's now above the grid, and not below the grid, which is really amazing, which is a lot of fun because you can now kind of use the grid as kind of the floor texture, and it's not always on top of everything, which is really amazing. You can do a lot of funny things with that. So if I go in here, the grid is not going to work very good with this intense texture. But we will see if we can still make it work. Do I have adjusted it? No, I need to adjust it to 100. Okay. And now let's add grid here. It actually does work. It's highlighting it. And you can see it would now be above the, so it would intersect with the statue, which is, it's okay. But it is even cooler if we go in there and take the grid and wait, bring it, it has to be down here. And there you go. And now the grid is baked into the whole scene, and is also partially overlapped by textures and is not intersecting with the statue. So that I believe is also quite a nice trick to work out the details of your map. All right, folks. It's almost midnight here. I wanted to do a short stream. How did that happen? So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining. Next time we're going to see each other on Tuesday. This Tuesday is not going to be a Dungeon Fog. Is not going to be a Dungeon Fog community stream, but next Tuesday is going to be our mapping it out, and it's going to be a bit longer mapping it out because we have so many news to share, so many things to show, and it's also going to start at 8 p.m. here in Vienna, which means 7 p.m. UTC, so it's also a lot easier to catch for you folks over in the States or in Canada. Yeah. So have a great weekend. I hope you find the time to play. I hope you have some games going on over the weekend. I have not. But next week I will have my next game. So have a good day, have a good evening, and happy map making. Bye.